Respectfully Disagree podcast episode. Man, I don't even know, man. It's been, about 2 weeks? Episode 117. Like I said, man, it's been about 2 weeks, man. Just wanted to step away from it for a little bit. Been having several ideas about what I wanted to talk about, but I was just trying to put it all together. And today's topic, and it's crazy how all this worked out. I'm going to explain it here in a minute. Today's topic, ignoring red flags because you want to see the good in people. Okay? And the reason why I say it's all crazy is because I was watching the Joey Badass interview with the Breakfast Club. And they were talking about recognizing and understanding your own emotions and realizing that your emotions can be transferred to other people. And they was just talking about, you can wake up in a bad mood and your bad mood is transferred to your significant other. That's passed down to your kids. So when your kids go to school, now they imposing that bad mood onto other kids and this and that. And energy is transferred. And I really enjoyed that conversation because oftentimes I think about that with myself. And one night, me and my wife, we was laying in the bed, and I don't know what we was watching, but they were talking about having anger issues. And she was like, had I known the red flags, blah, blah, blah. We was just joking because I've been known to have anger issues, quick tempered, just snap, just pop off at people. And that's something that I've slowly learned to get away from, just not only for personal reasons, but just maturing, becoming a better person, a better example. So we were just joking about it. And then I'm saying to myself, I was like, dang, man, that would be a good podcast episode to just talk about anger issues and emotions and things like that. But I just kept waiting. So then I was listening to another podcast. Some dudes here in Louisville. The podcast is called Let's Argue. I don't want to mess it up. It's a play on words with argue, but you know what I'm saying? Some dudes here in Louisville, dope podcast. Y'all go check them out. Follow them on Instagram. It's on YouTube and stuff. Fairly new podcast to me anyway. I don't know how long they've been doing it, but it's dope. So they was doing an episode. I'm sitting here watching it the other day, and they started talking about, do people really change? And I got to sitting there listening, and they was like, if somebody is a snake in their core, do they really become a changed person, or do they just do less snake stuff? So when I'm sitting there, I'm listening to it, I'm thinking about it. And I'm like, dang, you know what I'm saying? That's something to really think about. Do people really change? And I got to thinking about myself, and I'm like, okay, I know I have anger issues. Have I really changed? Because certain little things trigger me. It's not as quick as it used to be, but it triggers me. I'm telling you, that's why I had to remove myself from a lot of Facebook groups and things like that, because I'm that person. I got to get the last word. I'm going to sit there and argue back and forth with a complete stranger till I get the last word. And then that conversation turns into F you, you are this, you are that. And in my younger days, it was that pull up, come see me, I'm ready to fight type stuff. And once I realized how ignorant that looked and how it sounded, I tried to tone back on it. But not only that, it's it started causing health issues, bro. I'm sitting in a room sweating, mad, angry with a complete stranger. So that's when it was just okay, have you really changed, or you just kind of toned it down a little bit? And so then some events transpired, and I was like, you know what? We got to talk about this. We got to talk about this. So like I said, I saw a post on Instagram. It says, and I quote, "Ignoring red flags because you want to see the good in people will cost you later." And that stuck with me because, as you all know, I have this whole push, support the homies, support the homies. I'm trying to do, you know what I'm saying, anything that I can for anybody. I just want to help. It's coming from a genuine place. I'm not doing anything, looking for stuff in return. I've never asked anybody for anything. So then it's crazy how all this ties in, because shout out Mario with My Therapist Made Me Do This podcast. I was catching up on those episodes yesterday. And then he had a little part there where he was just like, you know, I have a circle of people that do podcasts. And the crazy thing is we all support each other, but nobody has literally said, hey, can you please go share my stuff for me? Blah, 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 blah. And it's like, it's coming from a genuine place. So I'm along them lines of like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've never seen dude. It's coming from a genuine place. Like, hey, bro, I see you doing this and doing that. First of all, I feel like I know dude because we've been cool in sneaker groups and stuff for years. So it's like I done seen his kids grow up, seen his family, you know what I'm saying? It's like vice versa. So it almost feels like I really know dude. So if he's doing something positive, the share button is free. I've said that multiple times. And then he shouted out another podcast, CO and the Doc. And I started listening to them. So they've been having dope conversations. So again, man, the share button's free. Me and dude been reaching out to each other, you know, having different little small talk or whatever. And it's like, hey, you doing it because you're a genuine person. But then on the flip side, it's like sometimes that can come back to bite you. Time my words together. It's like, where do you draw the line between trying to support people because you really want to support them, or cutting people off because you know it's not coming from a good place? And what I mean by that is, like, in today's time when everybody's pushing to be their own boss, more people are, you know, creating their own businesses, entrepreneurship and things like that. I know how hard it is. I know what it takes to try to get things off the ground, the restless nights, the money that's coming out of your own pocket to get things started. I know what that feels like. So any little bit helps. So you try to do what you can to help people. But at the same time, it's like some people are starting businesses and things with intentions to try to scheme and plot and get rich quick off of people and then just run away with the product. But it's like, time and time again, I keep trying to see the good in people, and I allow myself to get burned. So I'm trying to figure out where that line in the sand goes, because I've had a few situations, and at this point in time, I'm not gonna give names or try to throw people under the bus or things like that. But it's something that really bothered me, because I'll start with this first story real quick. Last year, the Jordan 11s, Cool Grace, came out. One of my favorite shoes. Like I said, shout out Dante. He was on the last episode. I had the Cool Grays on the table. One of my favorite sneakers. And some random person on the internet was like, I'm doing pre-orders. I think it was for $275 or something. Maybe $300. It was $300. And, you know, I go through looking at the reviews, looking how many people follow this person and things like that. You know, of course, I'm doing my research. You don't want to just go blind and throw your money at people because, like I just said, there's crooks and snakes out there. So after I done my research, I felt like they were a trustworthy person. I did a pre-order. So the shoe released. They made a post and was like, all pre-orders are going to go out. You'll receive a tracking notification by the end of the day, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, all right, cool. So then they made another post and was like, we have some extras. If you haven't did a pre-order and you want to order blah, 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 $275. Me being greedy, I'm like, you know what, man, I'm going to get 2 pair. So I sent them another $275. I ain't even received confirmation for my first one yet. But I'm like, you know what, trustworthy. He's communicating back and forth, blah, 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 blah. Send dude to $575. Appreciate it, bro. We got you locked in. We're going to send it out. So I waited. Day go by. 2 days go by. So I'm like, here, let me reach out. Like, hey, bro, what's going on with the pre-orders? Hey, man, we had so many orders. We're trying to get caught up, blah, blah, blah. We're going to take care of you. I understand that. Like I just said, I know what goes into having your own business, having a box and package things up and mail it out. I know all about it now. So I'm like, all right, cool. No worries. I'm not tripping. A week goes by. Still ain't heard nothing. So now I'm like, hey, bro, like, what's up, man? Dude instantly pops off. I'm doing you a effing favor. Why you keep bugging me? Get off my nuts. Excuse my language. And now I'm like, wait a minute, bro. I'm the customer. Like, I've paid you for a service. Like, you can't get mad at me for inquiring about where my goods are. At least give me an update. I'll give you an update when I'm ready to give you an update. If you think I'm going to sit here and inform everybody individually where each this and that. And I'm like, you know what, bro? Like, whatever. All right. At least he's communicating. Here I am again trying to find the good in the situation. So it's like, you know, at least he's writing back. So then I get on Google. Now, keep in mind, this person has their own app. You know what I'm saying? They got a website. You can go order from the website, this and that. The whole setup is legit. I got to reading the Google reviews, and they're like, don't do business with this person. They never ship. They communicate perfect, but you never get the product. Somebody said they waited almost a year. And I'm like, you know what? Hell no. It's a red flag. So I start going through the channels of like, hey, bro, like, if you don't have the product, man, just send me my money back. Bro, I said I got your shoes. Quit bugging me. Blue, 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 blue. So now we had almost 2 weeks. So then I was like, you know what? The best way to get at people is through the internet. So sure enough, I made a post on my Instagram, and I was like, you know what I'm saying, just posting little subliminal messages, and I kept tagging dude. So then that got his attention, like, hey, man, why you trying to blow up my spot? You making it bad? Like, you know what? Here, long story short, I ended up getting my money back. Dude charged me $100 to send my money back, though. So I sent him almost $600, and I lost $100. But I'm like, cool, you know what? As long as I got my $500 back. I don't know if anybody ever got their shoes or not. I'm just thankful that I got my money back. So little things like that is kind of my soft spot, I guess, because it's been other people that I've known personally. It's like, hey, I'm trying to do this and do that. Cool, I'll support you. Here, this is what my blah, blah, blah is, my size or whatever. Never get the stuff, or it takes months and months and months, and it's just like, all right, here we go. But I never hold it against people. It's just one of them things where it's like, all right, bro, you just chalk up the L. I'm one of them people where it's like, I don't argue about money. Like, that is a pet peeve of mine. Like, bro, don't talk to me about no money. And I guess that's where you have to realize that some people are just cut from a different cloth, because I hate asking for stuff. If I can't do it for myself, then that means I don't need it, nor do I want it. If I got to beg and ask and try to get people to help me, bro, that's the worst feeling in the world, in my opinion. Some people may disagree with that, and that's cool, but it's like, there's nothing worse than you swallowing your pride and you coming to somebody and you genuinely asking them for help and you get told no. Even if you give them a legitimate reason for why you're trying to do this and do that, and it's like, hey, if it wasn't for these circumstances, I wouldn't come to you. It just so happens that I'm in a time of need. Like, this is something that I'm trying to do. This is what's preventing me from doing it. Can you help me out? You get told no. So I hate that feeling. So it's just like, if I can't do it on my own, I don't want it, nor do I need it. So when I get in those situations, it's like, I feel like I shouldn't have to ask you for an update on whatever it is that I purchased from you. If you have my money, I think it's up to you to contact me. Or if I let you borrow something, I shouldn't have to come to you to ask for my money back. Like, that's just my opinion. But it's like, some people take your kindness for weakness, and that's what I'm saying. That's kind of where I'm going with this. Because time and time again, you try to find the good in people. You want to be supportive, and you purchase things or you lend people stuff, and you do it for the right reasons. You do it out of the kindness of your heart, but then people will snake you. So here we go again. Another situation comes up. Like I said, I'm not going to disclose any names or whatever. And another person has a business, and I was actually interested in their product and their service. And I reached out to him. I'm like, hey, I like what you're doing. How much does this cost for you to do this for me? Like, I have a personal request. It's kind of meaningful. Like, how much would you charge me? So here we go with this magic number again, $600. And I'm like, okay, like in the back of my mind, I'm like, damn, I wasn't expecting that. Like, I'm just going to be honest. Like, I was like, damn, I wasn't expecting that. But based on the sentimental value, I'm like, cool, like, I'll do it. The difference from the first example in this one is like, I didn't know the sneaker person. I just knew that they had a website, they got an app in the app store. It's got to be legit. Like, the whole thing is set up as a business. It's got to be legit. Where this person is like, I know several people in this person's circle. They've had products, services completed by this person and things like that. So I'm like, hands down, trustworthy, no questions asked. All right, cool. Excuse me. So I have all the messages. In my opinion, I think I'm being professional, respectful. And I'm like, hey, what do we have to do to get this process started? Do you require a deposit? Blah, 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 blah. So this person gave me the amount of what the deposit was, sent it right away. We're communicating. Hey, this is what the product's going to look like when it's finished. Hope you enjoy it. Cool. Like, I'm excited. I'm anticipating this. I even got a date for when my product was supposed to be completed. I'm like, all right, cool. Once I received the date for once it was supposed to be completed, I paid my balance off. And I don't know if that's where I made my mistake at, because again, you trying to see the good in people. You've correlated this circle to everybody within this circle is good people, genuine people. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it ain't like they're strangers. They're internet people, but I've known them enough to where I know that, like, I can trust them, especially with $600. So I went on and paid for it. Waited. I get a message. It's like, I hope you don't think I ran off with your money, blah, 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 blah. I got tied up with some things. Again, try to see the good in people. No problem. Thank you for your communication. I'm trying to be polite because it's kind of like, hey, cool. I understand things come up. No worries. I'm not in no rush for this. At the end of the day, I'm looking forward to this product. Like I said, it has sentimental value. It means something. So I don't want to rush that. You know what I'm saying? Or I don't want to cause no conflict to where it's like, now you're just going to give me some BS. And then technically you can say, well, I gave you the product. So that's kind of where it's like I'm trying my best not to go that route, because it's either A, I lost $600, B, we gonna have an ugly conversation and you gonna send me some bullshit, or C, I honestly don't know. I don't know. And I'm trying my best to not think the worst. Like, worst case scenario, man, just send me the money back. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't ghost me. Don't treat me like I'm just another fucking bum off the streets or something, and you done, like, I don't want to feel suckered, if that makes sense. Like, I was genuinely reaching out to you because I genuinely enjoyed your work. Now you making me look like a fucking idiot because A, the communication has just dropped off, which I feel is unprofessional. And then two, it's like, damn, like, that's a slap in my face. It's like, excuse my language again, it's like, fuck you and your money. I give you your product when I give it to you, or I'm just going to keep your fucking money. Fuck you. I don't know you type thing. And that's what I'm saying. It's like, what did the quote say? Pulling back up here. Ignoring red flags because you want to see the good people will cost you later. And it's like, damn, do I just take the L in this situation or what? So I'm torn. Like, I have no idea what I should do. But that's what I'm saying. It's like, I have this whole support the homies. And it's like, I'm really trying to do that. Like, if you don't have a feel good feeling about helping others, then something is wrong. Like, what are you doing it for? Like, I'm not looking for nothing to gain. And I put this shirt on for a reason, man. Shout out my guy Huddy over at Life's Journey. This is Risk Takers. If you notice, it's a lot of African American, you know what I'm saying, successful people. And I like the whole message behind the shirt. And on the back it says, with no risk, there's no legacy. So I understand that grind, man. I understand what people have to go through to try to get ahead when they're trying to build something. You're trying to build it from the ground up. But it's like, damn, like, where is the professionalism? So it's like, where do you draw that line at between, you know what, I want to support you, but at the end of the day, you don't have good business etiquette or whatever terms you want to use. It's like, you don't have no good business practices, bro. Like, the communication is off. You're not sending things out in a timely manner. It's like, dude, I understand things come up. I was doing t-shirts for the podcast. It got overwhelming because I didn't expect that many people to be interested in shirts. So it got to the point to where some of the things that people were wanting, I had to go out and get or order it and wait for them to come in. But I always kept those lines of communication open. I'm like, hey, sorry for the delay, waiting on this to come in. I kept everybody informed every step of the way. To me, that's just the right thing to do. And that's why I'm just like, I guess, again, like I said, I guess everybody just cut from a different cloth because nobody has that in them to just say, hey, this is the right thing to do. And it makes me mad because it's like, after this, I'm going to jump off here. Like, I remember growing up, my father, he said something to me and it's always stuck with me. He's like, you need to quit living in a fantasy world. And the more I get older, it all makes sense now because it's like, you just expect people to do what's right. And it ain't gonna never be that way. Like, I hate to say it because I hate to shatter my hopes and dreams of, like, people just do right. Like, just do right. The world would be a better place if you just do right by people. But he told me that. He's like, bro, quit living in a fantasy world. And every time situations like this come up, it's like, damn, like, that's a reality check. So I'm going to try to reach out to this person one more time in hopes that I get some kind of form of communication back. And it's like, the old me, man, it would have been a lot of crazy conversations going back and forth, and I definitely wouldn't have got my money back. And at the end of the day, we're all adults now, so I'm not going to disrespect people. You know what I'm saying? We're parents now, mothers, fathers, husbands, wives. I'm not going down that road, because at the end of the day, two wrongs don't make a right. But it's like, damn, I guess my little money ain't important to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? $600 is still $600. I don't care how much it is. You know what I'm saying? I've had people, hey, let me hold this and hold that. And it's a small amount. But again, I feel like I shouldn't have to ask for that back. And if I have to ask for it back now, I feel like you're disrespecting me. Like, you basically telling me to my face, like, yeah, I owe you some money, man. Fuck you. You get it when you get it. And that's what I'm saying. It's like, I try my best not to create conflict amongst others, because I know how I can get. And like I said earlier, man, shout out to the folks here in Louisville with the Let's Argue podcast. It's like, do people really change? Like, in your core, you know what can really happen. And it's like, I don't want to say I'm being two-faced, but like, I'm showing people a different side of me for a reason. Like, I don't want to be that ignorant, jump off the deep end, just react off of raw emotion type shit, just foolishness. But it's like, damn, bro, like, I guess me being nice means that he ain't worried about that money. I give it to him when I give it to him type shit. And it's like, nah, bro. So, I hate that it felt like I was rambling, but that's what I wanted to talk about. It's just like, you trying to see the good in people, but in the end, you're the one that ends up getting hurt. And that's something that is just like, it was bothering me. But now that I kind of got that off my chest, you know what I'm saying, I had a conversation with some people, kind of got some advice on what to do next. So it's like, now I'm putting it in my own hands to try to resolve it. Hopefully it gets resolved. But like I said, man, y'all just do right by people, bro. Like, and then the rest will take care of itself. Oh, but anywho, man, like I said, support the homies. Appreciate y'all listening. If y'all listening to this, give me some feedback on what you all think I should do in terms of how to go about trying to get my damn money back, or at least get the product, and the product is completed the way I actually want it. Like I said, I'll see how it goes. I'll give people an update, and then hopefully I get the product, because I really want it for reasons that I might discuss later on. We'll see. But, man, y'all listen to this, man. Give me some feedback. Follow and subscribe to the YouTube channel, I Respectfully Disagree podcast. Follow me on Instagram. Also, my other Instagram is Feed Me Kicks. Man, subscribe, comment, follow, do all this stuff, man. I'm trying to take this stuff to the next level, man. And like I said, I hate asking people for stuff, so I don't want to feel like I'm begging on here. But, man, come on, man. Like, I'm trying to help grow this podcast, dog. I can't do this without y'all. So I appreciate y'all listening, man. We out.
Ass toasted, no competition. I'm Misha Coasting. I feel so high. I feel